Hey guys, Roscoe here with Team Dignitas. Just after Cloud9's crazy game with CLG crushing defeat, apparently. But no, it was a great game. It was something to be proud of on both sides. But here with Bubbadub, how you doing, man?
Doing good. We should have gone 2-0 this weekend if the guys didn't throw. Honestly, the guys are super upset at themselves with what happened, but that's life.
Yeah, I mean, there were throws, but there are also they took it back many times. They have that to their names too. But talking about the beginning of the game, were there any specific picks that you guys really were looking for or hoping to get, like maybe in Italy? Or what other things were you going for specifically?
It wasn't a specific champion or composition. There was we want to run one of 2 or 3 compositions depending on what they ban. Their bans were actually pretty good, but I actually think their first rotation, they kind of let us build a comp that we were comfortable playing when they could have actually taken something away, and it would have been a lot harder to draft around. So I think the players were really comfortable with the draft overall.
Do you think that the Kennen pick, that it might have been that they were picking and banning to actually fit the Kennen pick because they took the Janna, so that way you couldn't counter that. Do you think that Kennen might have impacted how they did all that?
I mean, we kind of knew that Zion would be on some sort of split push pressure type champion. We banned Fizz and they banned Rumble, I believe. And it's kind of hard to have a lot of split push pressure against something like Maokai. And I mean, Kennen was a pretty good pick. I don't feel like it actually fit with their comp too well, just because he's a hard engage and you're building basically a 4-1 around a AP split push. So his split push pressure is a lot lower than Riven or Gnar. But might be going off topic a little bit. But I think the Kennen pick was actually pretty good overall. It did a lot of work in that game, and it also plays to Zion's strengths or Darshan's strengths as a player. So I think that it worked for them because of their players.
Yeah, it was. I mean, got him the first blood. It got him a couple other the teleporting in and home guarding ulting. It's kind of crazy. But going over to yourself and your interactions with the team, how has being a coach been as opposed to a player? What's it been like?
Well, it's much different. Not being able to be on stage, you don't get I have to calm myself down before the game. It's more just just my job is to create quick decisions in pick ban and help facilitate what kind of comp we are aiming towards. Because normally you have 2 or 3 that are discussed, and you have to choose one on the spot. And it's okay, this is good because this, and then the other one is if the players disagree, you have to be really quick about working out what you want to actually run. And I think this weekend the players did a really good job with that. And I won't take most of the credit because I would say Lemon leads the pick ban, and that's actually one of the reasons why Charlie isn't here today. I'm not stepping in to fill his Charlie's pick ban shoes and just make this team better. Normally I'm the coach behind the scenes, and I just got brought down because Charlie wanted to spend more time with C9 because they're boot camping and they've been having a rough time, but that's a different story.
Yeah, they're trying to ramp up into end of the Challenger Series to maybe get the LCS. So, working with the players and how kind of tricky the roster has become, do you work with them directly with scrims and with pick and ban before the LCS?
So I do help them with pick ban. Charlie helps them with pick ban. We have an analyst that helps them with pick ban. So basically it's just a think tank before pick ban, what we think is our best options, and then also, what was the other half of the question?
Well, it started off asking about how it's a bit of a tricky roster right now because you lost the shot calling of high, but then kind of got it
Oh,
back.
in a different role.
Yeah. So how is that? How is working with the players, and how Sneaky mentioned in that earlier video that it's, morale can get low and things are tricky. How's that going for you guys?
Honestly, High is like a super energetic, outgoing guy, and he keeps the morale really high by himself. I tend to help with that on C9 team more because I was like head coach with that. But I would say the Cloud9 players are pretty independent as a group right now, and I'm there for scrims and just like to help them review plays that go wrong and stuff like that. But for the most part, I would say High like keeps the morale high whenever they lose.
And then independent isn't like with scrims and everything. They know what to analyze. They know to analyze. They know what to look for and how to analyze themselves. Is that what you mean?
Well, a lot of the times players won't like think. It kind of depends on how the scrim goes.
Just players won't think. That's heard it here.
No, I mean they won't think about like all the bad things that happen if they like win a scrim. So then I'll just bring back and be like, okay, look, this is what you need to improve on. If they lose, it's like that's the first thing on their mind. But when they win, they're just like, oh my gosh, that game was messy, but we did it. And then they won't like tend to look back at the mistakes as much. So I'm there just kind of like put down the big points of the game, like what got them ahead, what got them behind, and stuff like that, and then I'll bring them back to it.
And then when you say independent, you mean that they do that a little more than somebody else might?
Well, this team in particular does pretty well. Yeah, Cloud9 does pretty well, like looking at their like knowing where they messed up, what they need to do to fix it. Other teams that I've worked with have not been like that.
Yeah, the self-analysis I found has been a big part of successful teams. Yeah, but going forward, you guys are in a tricky position because you have those world points, but you can't quite do that, and you're kind of actually really close to Team 8. They're like a win ahead of you guys, and they play Gravity the next match or so. Yeah, but then next week, depending on what happens, because they have a tough schedule, and you guys play TDK and TSM next week, so potentially you could swap places. Are you guys? What is your next goal? What are you shooting for? You looking to try to swap spots, take that spot, and avoid the little bit of relegation?
I think the obvious answer is yeah, we want to avoid relegation. I mean, they also have the points from the first split, so it's like if they do avoid relegation, they can actually make a run for it if they improve just a little bit more. Like, I mean, that CLG game kind of showed they got really ahead early. They had really good map movements, and then they had one slip up. And it's just like, they didn't have that slip up. They could have forced a good fight, taken Baron, and then snowballed the game. But, like, they were like 6K ahead when they slipped up. So.
Slipped up, but then took it back and got like 4K ahead, and it was just, oh, God. Heart's still beating after that. But then I think I heard that if you guys are able to get back into the contention for Worlds, that because you have the points and there would already be those teams that would normally earn it, that you may have to do some kind of weird gauntlet thing where you kind of fight it out. Do you know how that might work?
Honestly, the goal is to get 7th place and then worry about it. So it's just like, don't worry about it. Like, getting 7th at this point would be good for us. Like, teammate has to lose for us to actually get 7th. So it's not even like completely in our hands. Yeah, so it's like if we won today and teammate lost, then we would be even, and then we would just have to beat teammate as long as we go even in the last week. But now we have to actually like win more than them, which with only 1 week left, that's a bit concerning.
Well, do you think, wrapping up the interview, do you think that like you said, it's not permanent. You won't be replacing Charlie. But do you think you're gonna continue on with Cloud9 Tempest? Say they get into the LCS, you just become their main coach?
That's a tricky question. I don't think I'll be on the Cloud9 main team as head coach for past next weekend. I think Charlie will be coming back, and I'll be back in the shadows, so to speak. Yeah, back in the and then if Cloud9 Tempest makes it, at that point, I'll have to make a decision.
Yeah, because it would be a different organization. You have to split off and decide whether or not you want to. Oh.
One thing I wanted to say is Jack has been really good to me, and I definitely think that working with the Cloud9 organization is good. So I might stay. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what I found that it's a tough decision because some of these teams develop a big family, and it's a choice between whether or not you want to go on a new thing or stick with what you got.
Yeah. All the big organizations right now are like they have multiple either coaches or analysts like working together for their team, and like that's something that's new to Cloud9, and I'm kind of like the first one they brought in like after Charlie to help them. So I think the big thing is like there will probably be opportunity both ways, which is good.
So wrapping the interview up, do you have any shout-outs you'd like to say, maybe sponsors or thanks to people?
I would like to thank my wife for giving me this opportunity and to coach and continue pursuing a career in esports. Any fans out there and all the Cloud9 sponsors. Not going to name them right now, but
All right, man. Thanks for the interview, and good luck to you guys next week. Hopefully you guys can make the best of it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, one of the things I noticed that was really cool was the kill participation. It was pretty crazy at one point. Like, you had 4 of the assists and a kill.
I think that is sometimes good, but sometimes bad. Can't hear another voice or something. But if I'm very tired,